Can I see the QR code?
So as usual, I have assigned with you at puzzle just now. Maybe you can do it after class, and then there are some quizzes after the class. Okay. All right. So I will. So in our previous lecture, we look at the OS design, monolithic and microkernel, if you still remember, and we try to compare between both of the designs. Okay, and okay, this is one of the submission from group Ana A and A. Okay, all here, Nurin, Muhammad Kamarul, Aiman Rizwan, Muhammad Akil, Muhammad Anik, semua ada? Dengar suara sikit. Ada semua? Nurin ada?
Ada.
Ada Doktor.
Ada kan?
Ada.
Okay. Degalah dengar suara. Okay, so terima kasih for all the thank you very much for your submission for homework. So this is from Good Anna answers. Okay, betul ke? What do you think? I think all correct, right? So the size kan, betul kan? So the size for the microkernel is smaller, the monolithic is lower, than monolithic, but it is extendable. The security is if the monokernel is more actually impact the whole system. The code, more code is required for microkernel. So these are examples for each of the OS design. Alright.
Cuma yang example tu Symbian tu, semua dia Symbian.
Oh, the spelling, right? Okay. Yeah. I think maybe after I think you know the correct answer, right? Okay. Okay. So now I proceed with the introduction. On 20th May 2019, microkernel is the design that has been selected by the new OS called Harmony OS, developed by Huawei. Have you heard about this, Harmony OS?
Yes.
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 More or less.
New.
Yeah, I think if sekejap ya. Okay, so my question is the OS design for mobile phone is similar with personal computer? Is it similar or not? Anyone want to try? Who we have here? Similar or not? The OS design for mobile phone and personal computer. Yes or no?
I think it's not similar.
Nurin nak jawab? Nurin? Similar?
Maybe similar in some aspect.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for your answers, Nurin. Okay, we move on to see whether the design for the mobile phone is similar with personal computer or laptop. So therefore, in our class today, we look at this 9 topic. Okay, we almost done our lecture this semester, and this topic is mobile computing platform. All right. So in this topic, first we look at the hardware layer in the mobile computing platform. Next, we look at the design or architecture for the mobile operating system. And lastly, we look at the technology for the future. And this actually we would like to discuss this subtopic, future technology, for your project. Okay. So we look at the first one, the hardware layer. Okay. The hardware layer is related with the device that we are using in order to get our task done. So whether you are write assignments, to make call, to watch video, or you want to play games, so you hold something, okay, to get what you want to do based on your intention at that time. So these devices, okay, so these devices, or we can call it as computer system, we can classify into 5. Okay, we can say that this computer system is supercomputer, or we can classify as mainframe, or mobile devices, personal computer, or embedded system. Okay, so what made this computer a computer? You still remember our second lecture, I think. Our first lecture. What makes the computer is computer? Anyone still remember?
There is input and output.
Input output.
Yeah. So it will be input, output, and what in the middle?
Process.
Yes,
Process.
good. So all the devices that has input, process, and also output, you can call this as computer. So make sure for your last project, you might create an invention, but make sure it is computer. Okay. So it means that it must has the invention. Your innovation must has input, must has process, and must has the output. So you must explain that during the presentation. Okay. So my question is, which classification of the computer system that we can relate with the need of mobile operating system? So which classification here we need mobile OS? Siapa nak cuba?
Mainframe.
Yes,
Mainframe.
mainframe. Okay, good guess. Okay, and anyone want to try? Lagi apa? There are two classification here that we need mobile OS. So find what are the devices here that is mobile.
Mobile device.
Mobile device and
Yeah.
mainframe.
Straightforward, right? So this one. How about embedded system? Some are mobile, some are not, right? For example, car. In your car, there is actually computer that control the system of the car. So we call it as embedded system. Okay. All right. So that's why we need special OS designs for these devices, because the hardware is actually different. Okay. So if you look here, why we need different OS design? Because they has different computer organization. The components inside that devices are different. For example, the mobile phone. Okay, it might have similar features, components like CPU, but actually they have some for example, the CPU for mobile phone is slower than the CPU in laptop. So that's why sometimes we need to consider also that features. For example, in your project, you need to consider if you want to make a small invention, you cannot use CPU, which is for supercomputer or for laptop. So you need to know the logic behind that. So for example here, this I took from the websites that talk about the Harmony OS for Huawei. Okay. So we can see that for they listed here company G, company A, company what still G, right? So for example, for personal computer, it need Chrome OS. For smartphone, it use Android. For devices like watch, they use Wear OS. So this is all is OS. Okay. So IoT, what is the OS for that is Android things. So how about TV? You can find TV OS. How about tablet? You can find iPad OS. Okay. So you can also see the designer for that company use different OS designs. For example, this company use monolithic kernel. Okay. So as you know that Linux it is based on Linux. Mostly they are using monolithic kernel. And then this is, I think, you from iPad. So we know iOS. It based on the hybrid kernel. And also the last one based on the microkernel. So you can see that this company might have their reasons where they choose certain OS designs. So for your project, you need to also give justification. What is the OS design suitable for your invention? So I'm going to look inside the hardware of the mobile phone. So the question is, what are usually consisting inside a mobile device? Could any of you have tried to open your mobile phone? Have you tried?
Doctor, we open our mobile phone every day.
Yes, sorry?
We open our mobile phone every day.
You have opened your mobile phone?
Doctor, do you mean like
Literally
Doctor,
open
do you mean
open up.
like literally open it the phone, like the bed case?
Take
You
out the
mean
whole
like
thing.
opening the
Take out the whole
hardware of
thing.
the phone?
I think you open until the part that to change the SIM card, right?
Yeah.
Mostly the newer phone we couldn't open it because of the adhesive.
Ah, okay. It's based on the type of the phone, right? The brand of the
Yeah,
phone. Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
around like Samsung Galaxy Mega and below, like macam tahun 2014 still can open it, but now we can't.
Okay. So basically, we do not know what is actually inside our mobile phone, but I think you can. I have shared a ad puzzle, that shows what inside the mobile phone, so you can refer to that video. Okay. So when we talk about smartphone, there is a special system inside the smartphone where we call it a system on the chip. Okay, so basically, these are the hardware inside the mobile phone. Okay, the general one where you have the processor. Okay, so still remember the von Neumann architecture. It must has a process, okay, which is the CPU, okay, and the clock that control the CPU. Still remember the clock speed. And then this is the memory inside the mobile phone, and the controller for graphics and video. And this is the important feature of the mobile phone, which is the touch screen. USB interface, network interface card, Bluetooth. Okay, of course must have this cellular because the phone is related to we have subscribe maybe Celcom or Maxis, okay, and also GPS. So I will go one by one to see what inside the hardware of a mobile phone. Okay. Okay. In this system, if you find that the CPU here is actually for the cell phone technology, it's different from your laptop. So I can say that for the mobile phone, the chips that dominated the mobile computing is ARM chips, ARM chips. Have you know what is your CPU in your mobile phone? Is it ARM chips? How to check that?
Look at settings.
Okay, so maybe after this, we together can check the mobile phone. Okay, so maybe I try first whether it work or not. Okay. Sena, I would like to try to let me do something. Anyone has tried using Connect?
Yes, sir.
Ada nak cuba tak? Connect?
No.
Not yet, doctor.
Not yet. Okay. So now I'm going to use Connect to connect with my phone. Okay. So you can see that my mobile phone.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Is it too small?
I think it's fine.
Control. Wait, I would like to check something. Control center. Sekejap ya. Okay. So, okay, this is my mobile phone. The interface. So just now I have download software. What is the tablet software? Let me check. Okay, so this software you can check the. Okay, I have installed this one. Linware. So using this software, you can check the spec for your mobile system. Okay. So for example, the hardware. Tak boleh. Sorry. Okay, so this is my CPU in my mobile phone, which I using ARM64. So this is the type of CPU in my phone, and it has 8 cores and 2 clusters. Okay, so I hope you can also check your mobile phone. Okay, the spec of your mobile phone. Okay, so this is about the hardware. About the CPU. So I proceed with the memory. Okay, so the CPU is usually dominated by the ARM chips. Okay, but you can find also Intel or AMD. Okay, for example, but ARM chips is more you can find more mobile phone with the ARM chips. Okay, I need to draw something. Okay, so why Intel and AMD is not as popular as ARM chips? Because this technology ARM chips is actually be built to be used for mobile phone, because the mobile CPU, okay, the mobile CPU is actually slower than the personal computer. And also it's not just slower, it's of course smaller, the size is smaller, and it has less cost than the traditional laptop or computer. Okay, why actually it's the CPU has these features? Because they need to have low power usage, okay, in order to save the battery. So it's really need to have the CPU that take less power than the CPU inside your laptop, because you want to save the energy, the battery for your mobile phone. So the power management is very important in your mobile phone. And one of the features of the mobile phone is that they must use this type of CPU in order to save power. All right. So I move on to the second component inside a mobile phone. Okay. So one of the character of the memory inside the mobile phone. So this is the memory controller. So you can see that it's quite different. So what are the differences between this one and your PC? Is there any hard disk here?
No.
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 Okay. So where is the RAM? Which one is the RAM?
Inside processor.
Okay. So SD memory. So SD memory is secure digital memory. Okay. So this is SD memory, and SD memory is actually the RAM in your phone. Okay. So it is smaller in the size, of course, because the size of the mobile phone we need to be compact so that we can bring. It is something that you can bring. Okay. All right. The another component for memory. So there are three parts of components. Another part is the internal memory. So what is internal memory? So you can find in your phone. After this, I will show my phone. For the internal memory is actually internal storage. Internal storage. And lastly, for the mobile phone, we also have this one, SIM card. Because what is SIM? SIM. Anyone know? Sekarang ni you can Google, right? If you want to know. But what's it actually SIM? Is actually subscriber identification module. Okay, so that is SIM. We call it SIM card, right? So it actually an integrated circuit. It is a circuit that store your international mobile subscriber identity. So actually it's related to your mobile phone and also to store your contact information. So it's more related to for your provider, okay? to authenticate subscriber on the phone. So based on the SIM card, we know that that is your phone with that number. Okay, only one number available, so the number is belong to you, and also it also can store your contact information in the SIM card. So we can see the differences here, that the memory inside the your mobile phone is different. So we check my phone.
Doctor,
Yes.
I have a question. How about the external memory about something like SD card?
Sorry, wait. I cannot hear you. I need to increase the volume.
Doctor, can you hear me? Doctor?
Please mute.
Oh, she mute.
Okay, I can
Doctor,
hear you. Okay, sorry for that.
Doctor, how about the SD card, which is an external memory?
Okay, so that is part of the internal storage, right? So it's like your actually storage. It's like your hard disk actually. The other than SD memory, that is we call it as the storage. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So I just want to see what is the what is the spec of my computer, my mobile phone. Okay. So this is the information for the memory. Can you see that? Boleh nampak kan?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the device memory here is actually the device memory is the my the SD RAM. Sorry, the SD memory, or we call it as RAM. So the total RAM in my phone is 5.9 gigabyte. Okay, so I have used 61%. And the internal storage, you can see that 137 gigabyte. So I only have these two memory inside my mobile phone. Okay. So any of you has bigger size of RAM than me?
No.
Yes.
Only 3
Can you
gig.
share how big your size? Your RAM size?
8.
Who has, yeah?
8.
We didn't have connect.
8 gigabyte for your RAM. For your
I
mobile
only
phone?
have 3.
3, okay. But it's still running okay, right?
Yes.
Alright. So, ada yang 8 I think just now with 8. Alright, so yeah, you can see that the RAM for the mobile phone, the technology, the advancement of the technology, I think in the future, the size of the RAM in cost effective, it means that the size is big, but the cost is not very high. So you can also put this in your project, okay? You define your RAM, so you think ahead in the future what the RAM would be, the possible RAM for your mobile phone or for your project, okay? So I go back to my slide. Okay. So just now we look at RAM. Okay, so we see that there are three features, three components for the memory controller for your mobile phone, which is the internal memory, which is like your hard disk. Yeah, not similar like hard disk in your computer. Okay, but the function is more like the hard disk where you can store pictures or others in your phone. And then we have the RAM, or we call it as SD memory, and also the SIM card. Okay. So next is the network interface card. Okay. So if you look here in the SoC, system on chips, this is very important now. The Wi-Fi. Okay. So because we want this component is to provide access to online services. Okay. So most devices typically they will use this standard, which is IEEE standard. This is the standard that you can search from the internet. Okay. Wireless. Okay. And also, other than that, for the connection, we have cellular modem, cellular data networks. These both are for us to communicate, okay, to connect to internet. One to the internet, one is for the mobile phone application. All right. So this another unique features. Okay. Can you find GPS in your laptop? Is there any GPS in your laptop?
No.
No.
No, right? How about accelerometers?
Also no.
Also no. This we call it as sensors. Okay. So these are the unique features of mobile devices. Okay, like GPS, accelerometers, or gyroscopes. So these are the sensors that make the mobile phone is different, okay, than your laptop because these have sensors. Because of these sensors, many developers they try to take advantage of these sensors. Okay, have you played games with accelerometer? Ada tak? Games and
Gyro we know.
Pokemon Go probably.
okay,
PUBG
become
use gyro. PUBG use gyro.
oh okay for games, right? So you can see that games only can be played using the mobile phone in order to get use that sensors. Okay,
Now mobile phone games can also be played on PCs.
precise, right? But how about the sensors?
I think computer uses internet instead. GPS, you can access the GPS using internet instead.
Okay, so there might be slightly different, right? The way to play the games.
Probably no accelerometer for laptops and
Mm.
computers, but everything else probably has.
Okay. So the developer maybe they do some version a version for the laptop and other version for the mobile phone, but the component of the games, the function is quite similar, right? So I also want to share to you about AR. So AR, augmented reality. Have you heard about augmented reality?
Yes.
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 Already.
Yes.
Already.
Okay, good. So I will share with you about augmented reality. So augmented reality use one of the features, okay, in your mobile phone, which is the camera. Okay, because now every smartphone must usually come with a camera. So that's why some applications, they utilize this camera in order to make the application more interesting. So I would like to share to you about AR. Okay, how the use of camera is utilized. It's very interesting. This is the final year project from my student. So I would like to share that. Nak tengok tak? You want to see that? The project?
Ah,
Okay.
Christina.
So I would like to show you. Okay, boleh nampak phone saya punya ni?
Boleh.
Boleh Okay. My student, let me
Mute, doktor.
Doktor.
Doktor termute, doktor.
Okay, boleh dengar?
Boleh,
Yes,
boleh.
yes.
Boleh, doktor.
Boleh Asyik-asyik mute je dia. Okay, tak apa. Okay, saya nak show. Okay, I will find that. So this final year's project last year project. The students now LI. So the title of the project is, let me find first. Okay, Pelan Dongakkan. It's actually an app for mathematics using augmented reality. So this is from software engineering students. Okay. So okay, so I would like to show one thing. Okay. So can you see that the camera, right?
Yes.
Sekejap. So you can see that how the use of camera is, mana pula? Oh, peliknya. Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Nampak
Oh, cool.
So the question is there. Antara berikut yang manakah sudut pandangan objek 3D di atas? Pelan ke, dari sudut X ke, dari sudut Y? Ada nak cuba?
Pelan. Sudut
Pelan.
X.
Betul
Sudut
pelan.
X.
Why? Tak ingat je.
Tak ingat dah.
Lupa.
Okay, this is SPM question
Sudut X.
2015. So I think sudut X. Oh, correct. Okay. So you can see, is it plan? So is it from Y?
Pelan.
Y mana? Y depan kan? Y depan.
Pelan.
Okay. Alah, plan. Okay, good. So that is how the AR, okay, is using for the mobile phone. So you can see that actually the camera captured the video, it processed whether the image of the soalan SPM just now is similar with the image that has been stored in the laptop, in the mobile phone. Okay, is it interesting? The apps.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the students got A for the final year project. Okay, last year project. So it's not only AR there, but there is also come with the questions and then the way creatively, the way that you utilize the camera, and on the camera view you also add the questions. So that is something that you can think about when you develop your own software. Okay, so I move on now to the hardware layer. Okay, so just now we have looked into the sensors, which is the unique features for the mobile phone. Okay, this is make the mobile phone is different than the laptop. For example, it must have usually has GPS to use for navigation. Okay, and then you can see just now the camera, how the camera is used for education, not only to take pictures but also being utilized in education, and you can find that application in health system. Okay, to help the doctors to diagnose some patients. Okay, okay. Since the hardware organization and features of mobile devices are quite different than the PC. Okay, so we can see that these are the hardware of the mobile phone. So you can see that this hardware is quite different. The hardware inside the laptop or the desktop. Okay, so when it's different, it really needs a different architecture, layer of OS designs. The architecture is actually must have some similarity, but also there must be some layer that special for mobile phone. Okay, so now we move on to our second topic. We would like to see what is the design for the mobile OS. Okay. Just now we look the hardware part. You still remember there is a CPU, memory controller, and so on. It has an IC, something which is another thing that different. It has cellular, okay, and also it has touchscreen. This is sensors. These are the unique. Some are similar like CPU, but you can see that the CPU is smaller. The power is also less than the traditional CPU for mobile phone, for laptop. So now we look at the mobile OS, the design for mobile OS. You would like to look the layer of layers on top of the physical layer. Okay, so okay, before that, I just want to share to you for the app. Just now I just show you one app. So I hope you can try to develop an app in the future that you can sell. Okay, so I just want to share you. This is 25 years of FTSM. Okay, in 2019. Okay, and actually for your information, our faculty is the first information technology faculty in Malaysia. Okay, in Malaysia, this we are the first. Okay, Prof Tengku here is the one that the uh, the professor that the mastermind behind FTSM in the beginning of of our faculty. So this is he gave a talk about mobile application, and he said that the first billion app is Instagram. Okay, this is the price of Instagram at that time is first billion, and how to build a million app. So we must have target Malaysian. So he said that try Malaysian make a million app. Okay, so that if you want to do that, you think an app that is universal and must be mobile, and also it can gather a lot of data. So data is actually a digital gold mine. So if you have data, actually you can get a lot of interesting application based on that data, and also the apps must be user friendly. Okay, of course the content must needed by the world and the people. Okay, and he said that we are hungry of any application produced by Malaysian. So so I means for any students here, do you want to build a million app? Any of you? Ada yang bercita-cita tak? To make an app and then you sell the app and be this is one way for us to sell our expertise. Okay, so try hard in your programs now in faculty, and then you can make a very good app. Okay, that is for santai session. Okay, so we move on to the second topic just a little bit before we break at 5. Okay, so just now in topic 1 we look at hardware. Atau nak break sekejap? Saya rasa break sekejap kot. If you want to break now?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay,
Yes,
so
Doctor.
10 minutes breaks. So we see you again at 5, and I will also share the QR code. Okay. Okay, can we continue our class?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think there is a question there in the chat. What is the type for the RAM for the mobile phone? So if I'm not mistaken, the type is DRAM. Okay, dynamic RAM. Kan? Soalan siapa tadi? Siapa yang tanya tadi? Sekejap, saya pun tak check. Sekejap. Abdul Rauf, kan?
Ya, saya tanya ya.
Okay, so I think that the answer is DRAM. Dynamic RAM. Okay, you can others can try to explore more about your mobile phone and try to understand better, because the technology now is moving toward something which is mobile, like your mobile phone. So okay, so can we continue?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
All right, so I will share my. Okay, we move on to the second topic of our class today, which is mobile OS. Okay, so as you can see here, the picture, the two operating system that is currently dominate our mobile computing. So, which is the first one will be Android, right? And another one is iOS. Ada yang anyone use Windows phone?
No.
Tak ada. So agak rare, but I find someone use Windows phone. She said that the main reason why he bought that because to use the Microsoft product. Okay, so you can see that Android used in many smartphones and also tablets from many manufacturers. Okay, so that's why we can see that Android mobile OS mobile phone is quite popular now, dominate actually the industry. And iOS is used for Apple iPhone and also iPad mobile devices. Okay, so now I will explain the layer of the Android, layer by layer, so that we can see how the differences between the OS designs for mobile phone and also for laptop. Okay, we look at the first layer. Okay, so the first layer on top of the hardware is we call it as Linux. Okay, so if you have Android mobile phone, okay, inside your mobile phone now is Linux kernel. You can find the version of the kernel inside your phone. Check the version. So actually for Android phone, the base is Linux kernel. Okay, so this Linux kernel is not very similar to the Linux that you use for your lab, okay? Because Google has modified this Linux kernel because they want to make sure this kernel is suitable for the mobile system. Okay, because the mobile system needs special needs for power management. Okay, power management and also special memory management. As we can see that it has 3 types of memory, and also it has special IPC, interconnect, interprocess communication. So if you still remember, this is one of the component inside the OS design. Okay, so this are the basis of the Android. So it's more to monolithic. If you look into the Linux kernel. So that is the first layer. Okay, the first layer on top of the hardware will be the Linux kernel. Okay, we look at the second layer from the hardware. So the second layer from the hardware, okay, this is the hardware. This is the Linux kernel just now. And the third layer, the second layer from the hardware will be called Bionic. Have you heard about Bionic Woman? Ada pernah dengar? Tak pernah dengar
Tak pernah.
Tak pernah boleh search lah saya pun tak pernah tengok. Pernah kot masa kecil-kecil dulu. There is a story, I think film or episode about Bionic Woman. Okay, what does it mean with Bionic? Bionic is related to artificial part. So what is the artificial about this one is that in the OS design for laptop, they use GNU C library. Okay, if you still remember the library, so the library for the laptop for Linux is GNU C library. But Google has developed a special library, but based on the standard C library, and this is called as Bionic. Okay, so because why the Google has to modify the existing standard C library, because they need to have a different library for smaller memory, because in the mobile phone we have smaller memory, and that's why we need to have a slightly different library to manage the memory. Okay, and also because we have a slower CPU. If you still remember process management, it will involve scheduling. So that's why they need a different method, different library to manage the process management, because the CPU is slower than the CPU in the laptop or desktop. Okay, so what is the top of the Bionic? So we have, just now we have hardware, we have Linux kernel, and then on top of that we have Bionic, the library, the kernel itself, and then what is on top of that make the Android software is portable, is that it has this layer. This is important layer actually. We call it as hardware abstraction layer. Abstraction layer. So Android need this layer. Why? Because it will allow the developer to write programs that are portable across different hardware platforms. So if you want to make different hardware platforms, you must have this layer inside the Android architecture, so that you can use the Android OS inside your smartphone, smartwatch, smartphone, or smart TV, because they have this abstraction layer. Okay, that is the third layer from the hardware. Okay, we look at what is on top of hardware abstraction layer. Okay, so we have hardware, kernel, we have bionic, and also we have so what is on top of it is actually the native libraries. Okay, we call it as native libraries. Okay, what is native libraries? Is actually frameworks that can be used for the developers in order to develop their Android application. So inside, I give example here. The native libraries is like the libraries to develop web browsers. Okay, they call it as WebKit. What else? It has database support. Database support, which is SQLite. And then it has also for network support. Network support, which is like secure socket. Secure sockets. SSLS. So for example, in the future, in your second year or your third year, all of there is a programming course, TK2323, which is mobile programming course. Okay. In the mobile programming course, you will see in details how you will use some of the features here. Okay. Because I also, before this, I also was a lecturer for this subject, mobile programming. So I also developed some application and upload in Google Play Store. This is very interesting. If you have the expertise in develop a mobile apps, you can try and make anything that you want and publish your invention. Okay, so while you're doing mobile programming, you really need to develop a mobile phone that has a local database. Okay, so for the local database, they need to use the native library, which is the SQLite. So that's why in the Android layer, you need to support the need of the developers to run their applications, so they also provide these native libraries. Okay, what is on top of the native libraries? Okay, we come into hardware. The second, what is the second layer?
Linux
Kernel.
Linux kernel. The
Bionic.
layer?
Bionic.
Bionic. What
HAL.
layer?
Hal. Hal.
Alright.
Native libraries.
Okay, good. Native libraries. Okay. So what is on top of it?
Doctor, mic mute.
Doctor, your mic muted. Your mic mute.
Okay, I don't know why it keep muting. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Okay, okay, we are here. Okay, just now, we discussed about the fifth layer. We look at the ART virtual machine. Okay. So what is ART? So ART is Android runtime. Android runtime. So it is actually a virtual machine that has been designed for Android to use for execution. Okay, to execute as sorry to execute application. Okay, so ART is used to execute the application. So they need this virtual machine to execute the application from the user. And also it has here the frameworks. Okay, we call it as Android frameworks. This is a very rich set of framework. It is very important because it needs to support your graphics, your audio, your and any hardware features, your camera and so on. So it must has these frameworks in order to make sure that the application from the user is running. And last in this layer is J and I. So what is J and I? So J and I, J stand for Java. Okay, Java native interface. So J and I is Java native interface. It means that the design for the Android also provide the users this Java native interface so that you can make your Java program directly without running using ART Vision Machine, but it only it is not portable from one hardware device to another. It means that if you are using this library, this interface, you only can run the programs in only that hardware, one device only. You cannot portable the programs that you use. But in your course, and usually the developer needs to do the apps, to develop the apps that can be portable. So ART Virtual Machine is the one that popular to be used. Okay, so all clear now about the layer in Android. So what is the top of it? What is the sixth layer? Okay, so I just want to draw the sixth layer. Of course, any guess? What is the top of the layer? Is the
User interface.
okay? You get the users, but users like just now pelandongakan. Is it the type of
Augmented reality application.
yes
Apps.
augmented reality?
Application.
Application.
Yeah. So the augmented reality, the any software that you use on top in your mobile phone, we call it as applications. Okay. So when you develop your own software, it will be on top of this. So we call it as applications and user applications. And of course, it needs interface to interact with the users. Like just now, where I show you pelandongakan. So you need to have input from the users to interact with the hardware, which is just now I use the camera. So you need has button or something else so that you can access to the hardware of the mobile phone. Okay, so that is about the Android mobile OS. So next, we move on to another OS, which is dominate second popular than Android, which is iOS. iOS. Okay. Any of you use this phone?
Maybe some of us.
Yeah. Um,
If what?
not. Yeah. I the apa ni lecturers also, it's hard to find the lecturers with iPhone. Okay, but you can find because like iPad, they say that they like to use iPad if they want to do video editing, because iPad come with their special software, so that if you want to edit your lecture videos, it's easy to do that. And iPhone, they say that the quality of the pictures using iPhone is better. Is it correct? I don't know because I haven't has one. Okay, maybe in the future you can compare between iOS and also Android mobile phone. So we look at the layer. So of course, the hardware is the physical layer. So what on top of that is that we must have, like just now we have Linux kernels, and this one they have also kernel environment, and it is not really focused on Linux. It is based on BSD Unix kernel. Okay, BSD Unix kernel. Okay, and this layer they has name, which is Darwin. Okay, so in iOS, the first layer from the physical layer is called kernel environment, and it is based on BSD Unix kernel, and it is called Darwin. Okay, so the second layer. So what is the first layer just now? You remember?
Where
Kernel
Kernel
environment.
environment.
Hardware.
PSD.
Kernel environment. PSB apa? Unix, right? Unix kernel. Unix kernel, and then what we call this? Ada nama tadi?
Darwin.
Darwin.
Good. Okay, so what is the second layer from the hardware? We call it as core framework. Sorry, framework. So what is core frameworks? Is actually the layer that defines the frameworks for support graphics and media. So just now for graphic, if you still remember Android frameworks, but this one we call core frameworks for graphics and also for media. Examples is QuickTime and also OpenGL. Okay, so this is the core frameworks for the iOS, which is to support graphics in media. Yeah, because you know that iOS, they have a good graphics, so they have this core frameworks. Okay, so what is the top of the core framework? Okay, hardware. This is Darwin. What is just now?
Core framework.
Okay, good. Core frameworks to support graphic and audio. And on top of that, it has application frameworks. Okay. Core framework and then followed by application framework. Okay, what inside the application framework? So this layer includes what we call it as Cocoa Touch. Okay. When we find this word, Cocoa Touch, it is really related to iOS. Okay, iOS, they use Cocoa Touch to refer to their application framework. So what this Cocoa Touch is to provide API for Objective-C. So something related to application framework that need by the application. So it provide API, okay, application programming interface for Objective-C and also for the Swift programming language. Okay, so these are the language that been used for the iOS. Not many, okay. As far as I know, for my students, no one do develop application for iOS, okay, because they need to pay in order to publish. Android, you also need to pay, but it's not as much as iOS. But yeah, when you work in the company, they might want to develop an application for both OS, which is iOS and also Android. Don't worry, usually there is another tools or layer that make you possible to do that. It means that you develop in one platform and then editor, and then when you want to publish, you can publish to both platform, Android and iOS. But of course, you need to learn more about that in terms of the technical aspect. Okay, so this one layer is to provide support for the hardware features unique to mobile devices. So the Cocoa Touch is, you said there is a keyword there. Touch is actually the special API to support the touch screen features of the mobile phone touch screen. So that's why in the iOS OS design, they put this application framework, the Cocoa Touch, so that they can optimize the use of touch screen in the application. Okay, so we look at the next layer, the fourth layer. So just now, this is hardware. This is Darwin. This is core. After that, please help me.
Application framework.
Very good.
Cocoa.
Core framework.
API.
Application framework that provide the API, right? What touch? What the name of the touch?
Cocoa Touch.
Yes, Cocoa Touch. Easy to remember that. Cocoa Touch. Cocoa Touch. Okay. So on top of this, there is another layer. We call it as user experience layer. User experience layer. So this is layer that define the software interface. Okay. So this is for the interface and also that allows the users to interact with the computing devices. So for the iOS, they has a special name for the user interface here. They use user interface called Springboard. Springboard, which is designed for the touch devices. So Springboard is for the touch devices. So you can see that from the design for iOS, they put more focus on the ability of the mobile phone, which is to receive inputs from the users from the touch screen. Okay, so that's why they have the interface, Springboard interface to get the input from the screen. And also they have application framework, the Coco Touch, okay, to provide the support for the hardware features of the mobile phone. Okay, so that is all the layer. Okay, as usual, of course, on top of it, what is it? The last layer, same like the Android.
Users
User
application.
application.
Yes, users application. Okay, so our architecture for iOS is complete. So now we move on into the last topic for our class today, which is future technology. So for this one, I open actually for discussion. Just to share with you that now we are moving to 4IR. So do you know about 4IR? Have you heard about that 4IR?
Fourth
Yeah.
Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, fourth industrial revolution, right? So I took from a MDET website this paragraph. 4IR usually involves this element, okay? Internet of Things, robotics, and also it also has AR inside this 4IR technology. You can find more about 4IR technology, okay? I would like you, if you are, I hope you can discuss with your group member for your project. Maybe you want to include some of the element of 4IR in your invention. It will be very good. Okay, so you can say that maybe you have artificial intelligence or you have AR like Google Glass. Google Glass, if you had heard that. Okay.
Microsoft HoloLens.
Yes, like Microsoft HoloLens. Is it for VR or AR?
Actually, I'm not sure, but Microsoft keep saying the word mixed reality.
Mixed reality.
Between real world and augmented reality.
Okay. So, okay, thank you for your sharing. So, HoloLens, is it the correct?
Yes, Microsoft HoloLens. The latest one is actually HoloLens 2.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so you can try to do some research about that and try to take some interesting technology or features and put into your project. Okay, so what your friend said that this is reality, this is virtual reality, and what I show you just now, the pelandongakan is augmented reality or AR, which is you can see the reality, but you augment with the digital information, which is on top of the screen. You can see another information on top of that. Okay, so one example before this Google Glass, but I don't know, this is not available now. Maybe because it can interrupt, because it is like the spectacles that I have went to a seminar before this in Unit 10, and they showed a Google Glass. So when you wear the Google Glass, you can see in front of your eyes the information, and there is something on the left or on the right of the spectacles, the glass, to control the input. Okay, so something about the Google Glass. So I think that's all for our lecture. So I would like to open for, is there any questions for your project?
Doctor,
Yes.
so for in the question in the tutorial 5 about the futuristic project and
Mhm.
futuristic computer, there is about design of the OS. So we should choose between monolithic, hybrid, or microkernel, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Or you want to develop a new one?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
It depends on your group, but as long as it is logic, maybe you want to make a hybrid. For example, the Harmony OS just now that I shared to you. Okay, that is the new OS for mobile phone. So you can research more maybe about Harmony OS, for example. Maybe you take some features from that OS and then combine with others OS, so make the new OS. For example, I don't know. You can discuss with your group members. As long as it's logic, it means that it has the layer, the layer for the applications, the layer for the hardware. So it's clear. The layer is clear and logic. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
All right. So any more questions about project before we go to quizzes? So you need more time for your project.
Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Oh, yes, please.
Diorang je.
Yes.
Doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor, please.
Yes.
Of course, doctor.
Yes, doctor, please.
So we actually discussed about that. We are thinking that it's better you submit the project after we finish all the lecture, right? Because next week
Yes, doctor.
next week lecture is about cloud and parallel computing. You might want to use the cloud technology in your project as well. So yeah, um, we will give you the latest information about that. But most probably, you ada ketua tak? Do you have leader for this group?
For the group
Yes.
project,
Yeah, no, for this class, TM 2033.
Oh,
oh no.
no.
Sometimes I need someone to communicate directly to represent all of you. But it's okay then. Just at the moment, most probably the time for the project presentation will be after. Let me check the date. Uh, 28th onwards. Okay, so not on next week, but I will confirm as possible that I can maybe tomorrow. Okay, about the reschedule of the project. Okay, so can you remind me tomorrow? Ada yang ada WhatsApp saya kan? Kalau ada seorang wakil, it's better. Pilih seorang lah. Siapa nak jadi wakil? Any volunteers? Then semua senyap je. Tak nak lanjut
No, doctor. Actually, it's very hard to choose only
only one because we have few group of classes. Like we have computer science and then information technology some more.
Is there any groups that combine all of you? Any
Mm.
WhatsApp group that combine
No, I don't think so, Doctor.
only the Telegram, right? The Telegram.
Programming?
You have WhatsApp group for programming.
No. It's just some group only.
Okay. How about is it effective, the announcement in UKM Folio?
Or you can try this, Doctor. Maybe you can like put a memo in MS Team. Like if some of my lecturer, if they got any announcement, they'll put it in MS Team, so you'll get the notification.
Like what I give before about the lab test. All of you get that?
Yes, Doctor, we get that.
Okay. In that case, that's good. So by tomorrow, I think I will try to confirm with you the new date for the submission. Most probably, we have start to discuss about that with other lecturers. I also agree to postpone the date. So tomorrow we will confirm, okay, the new date. All right. So tapi you have started your project. Dah discuss.
Yes,
Okay.
already.
Okay, that's good. So I think that's all for this topic, mobile computing platform, which is actually quite related to your project actually, because in this topic we look at if you have different hardware, you have to identify different OS design, and let's say you want to develop an embedded system in a small part or in a machine, you have to think about the hardware configurations and try to find the suitable hardware. You cannot simply take the hardware organization for the laptop, but your project is about a small system. So you must be logic and justify about your invention. Okay. So so like usual, the homework is very I think you can find many in the from the internet. I just want you have a brief discussion among you, like 10 to 15 minutes only. Don't use much time. Just to make sure that you do some discussion. Actually, I hope the group you can use it for group discussion for other subject as well. So I use it for my uh, master degree. Yeah, we do have a lot of discussion and it's really helped me a lot, especially towards exam. Okay. Okay, so are you ready for quizzes now?
Wait up, Doctor.
Yes.
Is it confirmed that we don't have any final exam?
We do have. Who said that?
Oh,
Yeah, it is not in schedule. But we have final exams 40%.
40%.
Yeah. Your carry mark is 60% and your final is 40%.
So the Karima is also included in the project.
Yeah, the project 15.
Or
So
15 mark
maybe
will be given to the
yeah,
Karima.
maybe I write here. Okay, so 50% is your project. 50% from your lab. 50%. Let me check. Quiz. Yang quiz tu. Have you joined the group? The one that missed the quiz one, who has problem? Have you joined the WhatsApp group that I did? Okay.
Not yet.
I think no.
So for the final exam, is it in the subjective or objective? Or both?
Okay, so final. This is quiz.
I see.
Lab test, lab task. Okay, for your final, we will have 20 question, multiple choice question, and 5 questions subjective. So the total mark is 70. Okay?
Okay, Doctor. Thank you so much.
All right. So can we proceed with quizzes? Yes?
Tafadhal, Mas.
Yes.
Okay. So let's save that one first. And then kita buat sekejap lah quizzes Di puzzle buat ya. Saya dah share. Why I share also the puzzle because you have additional knowledge about that subject, which is quite useful for you to learn more about the particular topic. Okay. So okay. Saya nak cuba yang inilah. Sekejap Okay, boleh masuk tak? Cuba. Okay, before I forget, for the one that have problem with quiz 1, please see back the announcement you can follow and join the WhatsApp group there. Okay, so I would like to ask all of you, are you all of you free on Wednesday afternoon from 2 to 4? All of you free at that time? Do you have class?
We have class.
Yes.
On Wednesday, 2
Ada
to 4.
kelas.
Kelas apa Beritahu tak? Kak Aina? May I know?
System thinking tutorial.
Oh, tutorial. All right. Is there any time within a week that all of you
Only weekend.
only weekend?
Friday or Thursday.
Friday got SIG.
Okay, how about when Thursday 4 to 6?
MM2 free.
How about others? Okay, MM2 free. MM1
Not free, doctor.
not free.
Doctor, what about Saturday, Sunday?
Only that you are free.
No,
Yeah,
weekend can.
some of got free and then some of them not free.
MM1 free.
Because
Doktor malam, doktor.
ada ke? Is there any case that you do a quiz during night at night?
Not quiz,
Yes.
but we got class.
Ada.
Ada Alright. So we are thinking about that. Alright. Okay. Okay, so I think we start now. It's almost 6. If you have problems to join, you can just see the question and just try to give your answers manually, not using the system. Okay. At least you will learn something. Can I start now? Okay. The subject is the answers. Use for mobile, or handheld. Use. This is mobile for us. So you combine the features. Okay. So next. Sama Semua kena betul lah.
Soalan sama, doktor.
Saya sikit lah Boleh sikit tak? Sekejap. Sorry. Something wrong lah. I think something wrong with the quizzes now. Is it okay if I just share the quizzes for your self-paced quiz? So you can click the link and you can do it anytime that you want. Is it okay?
Okay.
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 Sure, madam.
Problems dengan quizzes. Lain kali saya buat lain lah. Ni first time cuba macam Kahoot Then we know that the ability of quizzes. Sorry?
Soalan 4 sama dengan soalan 3.
Betul. Nanti saya akan delete. Okay, so I think problem with quizzes. So